Have you ever seen two giants in the same industry, but they're playing completely different games? I mean, so different you'd think they were in separate worlds. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're heading to the beautiful tea plantations of Sri Lanka to unpack the story of two absolute titans. So how can two major rivals play such different games? Let's meet our contenders. On one side, we have Killarney Valley Plantations. We'll call them KVPL. And on the other, Talawakella Tea Estates, or TTE. Now, both of these companies are at the top of their game, but believe me, their playbooks couldn't be more different. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the simplest way to think about it. KVPL, they're the global marketer. They're all about scale, expansion, getting their products into every corner of the globe. But TTE, they're what I'd call the integrated specialist. They're more like a meticulous craftsman. They control everything from the soil all the way to the final teacup to build this super premium, exclusive brand. All right, here's our game plan for today. We're going to look at how these two stack up across 5 key areas. First, what are they growing besides tea? Then, how do they actually get to their customers? We'll also look at how they power their whole operation and the kind of tourism experiences they're cooking up. And of course, at the end, we'll pull it all together for a final scorecard. First up, beyond the tea leaf. Look, in today's world, you just can't put all your eggs in one basket, right? So where are these giants placing their bets for the future? I think the answer is going to surprise you. So KVPL is betting big on a totally different kind of brew. We're talking coffee. And this isn't just some little side hustle. No. They are aiming for a massive 1,000 hectares by 2030. It's a really bold move to jump on that global coffee craze and seriously diversify what they grow. Meanwhile, TTE is doing something sweeter. They're getting into strawberries. But this isn't your grandma's garden. We're talking high-tech strawberries grown in these advanced polytunnels. It's a super high-value, precision kind of project. And honestly, it's already looking incredibly promising. It just fits their whole premium specialist brand perfectly, doesn't it? So you're already starting to see the pattern, right? It's pretty clear. KVPL is all about going big, thinking about scale with this huge coffee plan. And TTE, they're carving out this very specific, high-margin niche with their strawberry project. It really is that classic business battle, scale versus specialization. Okay, let's move on to our next section, global reach versus a boutique brand. This is all about getting to the customer. And man, this is where these two companies really go their separate ways. How do you win over customers? Well, KVPL and TTEA have two completely different answers. Just look at this number for a second. 73%. That is how much of KVPL's entire group revenue comes from its marketing subsidiary, Mabroc Teas. Let that sink in. 73%. It tells you everything you need to know. KVPL isn't just a tea company, it's a global marketing machine that just happens to grow tea. And Mabroc Teas is not messing around. They are on a mission. We're talking a footprint in over 50 countries. They're the biggest Sri Lankan tea exporter to China, which is just huge. And they're making smart moves too, like buying a stake in a Polish distributor and even setting up a whole new expert company in Kenya. This is what a global marketer's strategy looks like in the real world. Now, TTE's philosophy, it's totally different. It's all about control, from field to factory to market-ready products. They want to own the entire process, from the seed in the ground to the final product you buy. It's that classic strategy called vertical integration. And for TTE, this is how they guarantee quality and build a brand that just screams excellence. So let's just break it down. You've got KVPL's marketing arm, Mabroc Teas, which is basically a sales engine designed to push volume all over the world. Then you have TTE, acting more like a boutique, carefully building its own premium brands like TPL to get those top dollar prices at auction. It's really volume and reach versus premium quality. All right, next up, let's talk about green energy. How are these plantations actually powering themselves? In a world so focused on sustainability, their approaches to renewable energy, well, they say a lot about who they are as companies. So if we look at hydropower generation, you can see right away that TTE has a pretty big lead. I mean, they're generating more than double the capacity of KVPL. So they've clearly put a lot of money here. But it's not just about how much they generate, it's about how they do it. And this is where it gets really interesting. See, KVPL operates its hydro plants through a subsidiary that it only owns 60% of. They're into partnerships. But TTE, Nope, they operate through two subsidiaries that they own 100%. They want total control. It's that same theme again, right? TTE's obsession with owning and controlling the whole shebang. Okay, for our last comparison, let's look at something a little different. Tourism. I mean, these estates are gorgeous, so it makes sense to invite people in. But as you've probably guessed by now, they are going after two very different kinds of tourists. KVPL's big idea is something they call intellectual tourism. What's that? Well, they're essentially turning one of their estates into a destination for biological researchers and nature lovers. They're inviting scientists to come study the unique biodiversity there. It's a really smart, kind of unexpected way to blend science with business. And TTE? Well, true to form, they're going for what they call experiential tourism. Think leisure, learning, and a whole lot of luxury. They're offering this amazing, sensory-rich experience with premium glamping sites. It's basically a luxury escape right in the middle of these beautiful tea fields. So there you have it. You've got the researchers' retreat on one side and the luxury escape on the other. KVPL is targeting scientists and academics, people who want to study and learn. And TTE is targeting luxury travelers who want to relax and be pampered. Just two totally different approaches to tourism. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, right? We've looked at their crops, their marketing, their energy, and even their tourism plans. So let's pull it all together for the final scorecard and see these two titans side by side. And when you lay it all out like this, the pattern is just undeniable. It's crystal clear. In every single category, KVPL, the global marketer, goes for scale and partnership. Big coffee plans, a massive global sales network, and shared ownership and energy. And every single time, TTE, the integrated specialist, chooses precision and total control. Niche strawberries, their own premium brands, and 100% ownership of their assets. It really is a tale of two completely different ways of doing business. Which brings us to the big question, right? In the wild, unpredictable world of business, which one of these strategies is going to win out in the long run? Is it global scale, or is it that specialized boutique experience? Honestly, only time is going to tell. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be fascinating to watch.